For 14 centuries I said nothing, not because I had nothing to say, but because no one left alive could understand my language. I watched empires rise in 3 different scripts, and I outlived every person who could read all of them. Title card. I am the Rosetta Stone. Carved in stone title animation. I was born in 1996 BC in the city of Memphis, Egypt. I wasn't made to be mysterious. I was made to be boring, a routine decree praising a 13-year-old pharaoh named Ptolemy V, promising temples tax breaks if priests supported him. But whoever carved me made one unusual choice. They wrote my message 3 times, once in hieroglyphs for the gods, once in Demotic for the people, once in Greek for the rulers. No one thought this mattered. It was just good record keeping. Then Egypt forgot how to read hieroglyphs. Not slowly, completely. Within a few hundred years, the last priests who knew the old writing died, and my top language became a beautiful, useless mystery. I was moved, reused, eventually built into the wall of a fort near the town of Rashid. The French called it Rosetta, as nothing more than a slab of building material. A message, hiding in plain sight, holding up a wall. 1799. Napoleon's soldiers were rebuilding a fort when one of them noticed carvings on a broken slab in the wall. They didn't know what they'd found, but an officer was smart enough to save me instead of using me as more rubble. Scholars were called. They stared at my 3 scripts and realized, for the first time in 1,400 years, that someone might be holding the key to hieroglyphs. Not because they could read them yet, but because I said the same thing 3 times. The British took me as a war prize in 1801. I ended up in London at the British Museum, where I still sit today. For 20 years, the greatest minds in Europe studied my surface. Thomas Young in England made early progress, but it was a young Frenchman, Jean-François Champollion, obsessed since childhood, who finally cracked it in 1822. Realizing hieroglyphs weren't just symbols, but sounds. He matched my Greek to my hieroglyphs, name by name, Ptolemy, Cleopatra, and suddenly, 3,000 years of Egyptian writing, tombs, monuments, spells, love poems, tax records, could all be read again. I never made to be important. I was a tax announcement, bureaucratic, forgettable, in triplicate. But because I repeated myself, I became the reason we can hear 3,000 years of Egyptian voices that had gone silent. Now millions of people visit me every year. Almost none of them read a word of what I actually say. They just know that I'm the reason everything else can finally be read. I sat silent for 1,400 years, holding a secret nobody knew to look for. I wonder what else is still out there right now, holding up a wall, waiting to be noticed. Next upcoming video.